We're all the heroes of our own story until the exact moment we're not, and most people can tell you exactly when that happened. For me, it was a Friday night around 11. I'd had a long day of pushing paper at the office and went out clubbing with some friends to blow off steam. They'd all kept going off to another bar or club to continue their drunken merrymaking, but I'd called it a night. They booed and hissed and told me I was an old lady, but I waved them off with a one-finger salute and went on my way. The bus stop wasn't very crowded when I got to it, which wasn't all that surprising given the still fairly early hour. I checked my watch, 11:07, and hugged my purse against my chest with a tired but happy sigh. My buzz was still going strong, and I was looking forward to a nice, long soak in my tub with a side of wine and some easy listening. The pair of women beside me were leaning on each other and giggling while taking selfies. One of the guys was sitting on the chair staring resolutely at the ground with a "don't talk to me" air. The other guy was leaning against the side of the little bus stop enclosure, thumbing through his phone. We all gave each other plenty of personal space, as was customary in these sort of situations, and I busied myself with checking Facebook and de-tagging all of the unflattering pictures my friends thought it was funny to post. I didn't even notice the guy across the street until the girls started whispering about him. Their excited, nervous back and forth made me look up from my screen, and I followed their gaze to the man, probably no more than 23 or 24, who was walking down the sidewalk. The lit-up plastic jewelry that blinked from around his neck and wrists and the telltale colors of a nearby gay bar hinted at where he was coming from. But he wasn't the one the girls were watching. Someone was following him. It was pretty obvious from the pursuer's fixed stare and the way he was speeding up the closer he got to the oblivious, probably tipsy guy. I glanced at the girls, waiting for them to call out a warning, but they stayed quiet, only observing and whispering. The others, Mr. Don't Talk to Me and Mr. Phone, at the bus stop hadn't even noticed what was happening. I checked my cell. 11:10, just 5 minutes until the bus would arrive. Across the street, the two men came to an alley. The pursuer leapt onto his prey and they got into a scuffle. It was immediately clear who had the upper hand. The poor man being attacked yelped and started to call something. He was looking right at us. The attacker clamped a hand down over his victim's mouth and dragged him into the dark alleyway. I looked at Mr. Don't Talk to Me. He pointedly looked away. I looked at Mr. Phone. He kept his eyes on his screen. The girls were tugging at their hair and motioning across the street, asking one another what to do. I checked my phone, 11:12. The sound of muffled cries came from the shadows across the street, followed by the sharp crack of a fist against flesh. A metal garbage can clattered to the ground and rolled to the mouth of the alley. Someone should do something, I thought wildly, looking again at the men. They should do something. They were bigger and stronger than me and the two drunk girls. They should be going over there and helping. I caught Mr. Don't Talk to Me's gaze, and he didn't move. Did he expect me to do something? What could I do? I was a petite woman in high heels and a miniskirt. The attacker would just laugh me off, or make me his next victim. There was no way I'd be able to fend him off in any meaningful way. Even the victim had been bigger than me. If he hadn't been able to shake him off, I'd only make things worse. A brief surge of relief went through me when I saw a group walking down the sidewalk across the way. They'd go right past the alley. They'd hear what was happening and help. But they just kept going. One glanced down the alley and then pulled their phone out. They're calling 911, I assumed. Why hadn't I thought of that? It happened so fast, I didn't really have time to process, that was all. The girls must have had the same thought, because one asked if she should call the police. She and her friend debated. Clearly I didn't need to do the same if two other people were beating me to the punch. They'd make sure the cops arrived soon. A good number of people had seen what was happening. Someone had to have called. Someone had to have made an attempt to help. I didn't need to get myself involved. I checked my phone, 11:14. The bus was turning the corner. There were stifled grunts and groans coming from the alley, the sound of weak crying. The bus pulled up alongside the curb and opened its doors. We all climbed in single file and spread out amongst the seats. The girls were still wondering if they should call the cops. The guys remained silent. The bus doors closed and we lurched forward, leaving the alleyway in its darkness behind. I checked my phone, 11:15. And that was the moment I realized that I wasn't the hero, even in my own story or anyone else's.